and I was screaming and she wasn't answering me.
A young father in mourning. A tornado kills his girlfriend.
Coming up, combing through the rubble. As homeowners try to recover what's left of their belongings, they share some of their stories of survival.
And a Dundee man salvages memories from the rubble.
This is 13 ABC Action News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Diane Larson. Lee Conklin joining us shortly live from Lake Township with the very latest on the tornado outbreak. At this point, though, we know 5 people are confirmed dead from the weekend tornado outbreak so far. And tonight, their families and friends are struggling to understand what happened and how they can go forward from here. Lee Conklin has more on that.
In Walbridge, 20-year-old Gerald Lathrop struggles to cope with the death of his girlfriend and the mother of his young son.
I just don't understand why I made it, but she didn't. I don't get it.
Saturday night, Gerald and 20-year-old Bailey Bowman were returning home from dinner when
She started screaming and told me that there was a tornado. And I looked over and saw that there was a tornado. There was transformers getting sucked up. So we opened our doors and tried to get out and take cover. And I told her to run for her life. She got out of the car. And I tried to get out. And when I got out, the door flung open and hit the quarter panel and sucked me right out of the car. The tornado picked me up and slammed me against the side of the building. I hit the building.
Gerald pounded on the doors of the police station and told an officer Bailey was out there somewhere.
And he was looking for her. Homer shook my hand and gave me a hug and said, Bailey didn't make it. And she's been gone.
Gerald has only a few cuts and scrapes, but the emotional scars run deep. And his 2-year-old son lost a mother.
But he needs his mother. And he's so young, I don't know if he's going to remember her. I just hope he does. I'm sure she'll be with him.
And our thoughts are with all the victims and their families tonight. 4 others died in this series of twisters that ravaged northwest Ohio and southeast Michigan over the weekend. 4 other people dead. Mary and Hayden Walters, a mother and her young son, were both asleep Saturday night when a twister demolished their home.
She was wonderful. She was a great mom, a great friend, a great coworker, a great boss. Just someone that we love to work with.
Mary's husband Ryan and daughter Madison were also inside. They are still in the hospital tonight. Just a few blocks away, 46-year-old Ted Kranz was killed when debris from his home fell on top of him. His family tells us the father of 3 was walking upstairs to turn on the generator.
A lot of people were in the yard when I arrived here, calling Ted's name and trying to find him.
And Kathy Hammett of Wauseon also killed when flying debris hit her car. And we mentioned Mr. Krantz, his daughter Katie, the valedictorian here at Lake High School. You may have read about that, heard about that, certainly on the news here. And we have received word that Katie will probably, from her aunt, that she will probably not speak at graduation tomorrow night when 110 seniors of Lake High School will graduate at Owens Community College. The attention just too much, and frankly, she has lost her father. And no daughter should ever have to go through something like that. So she needs time to mourn and time to grieve. Back here live at Lake High School, demolished from that twister that rolled through here around 11 o'clock on Saturday night. We are about 48 hours removed from that horrific moment when that twister ripped through the Lake Township area. A proud community, a community that is taking time to mourn, to grieve, and eventually rebuild. FEMA expected to be in here tomorrow to assess the damage, and Brad Gilbert, who's the emergency management director here in Wood County, estimating that damage could be here in Wood County alone at least $100 million. And among it all, through it all, There are a lot of stories to tell, and I want to bring in my colleague Tony Geftes, who has been working here in Lake Township, the Millbury community, Moline, Walbridge throughout the day, Tony, and every person has a story here. Every survivor has a story.
Absolutely, and we've said it time and time again, when something like this happens, it truly brings out the best in a community.
I think that's my house, and it's like kind of destroyed.
Jordan Taylor is going into the 8th grade at Lake Local. Not only is her school in shambles, so is her home.
Like, that's my room, on the left, and you go up there and like everything's ruined, and it's crazy.
Tonight, many other Lake students have questions about their futures.
I'm mostly a basketball player, so I'm kind of worried about like my team and my friends.
Some brought their questions to a meeting at the Millbury Fire Hall, a meeting which started by honoring the 5 who died in Saturday's tornadoes with a moment of silence. Those here could get free tetanus shots, courtesy of the Wood County Health Department. They also learned where to get food and clothing. Some of it gets handed out along the streets, all of it donated.
You've even had people in the community who have maybe not lost their home and things, but those people have also came down and gave.
Those donations are overflowing, according to the Red Cross. They are no longer accepting physical items. What they're asking for now is money. That's why Terry Mahalik is putting together a fundraiser.
So I felt that I needed, since I was spared, only fair to give back.
Still, other forms of help are on the way. Allstate Insurance has its mobile claims center coming up from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
It's what we're here for. It's why people pay for insurance. You hope you never have to use it.
And when disaster hits home, comfort takes shape in many different ways.
Yeah, it's nice that everybody comes out and helps.
That fundraiser is scheduled for July 12th. It's set to be a chicken dinner and a concert, and we'll bring you more information as we get closer to the date. They're still trying to put it all together, trying to get some way to help these people.
Well, I think so many people are mobilizing already here. It doesn't take long, and Northwest Ohioans step up. We've seen it in so many cases already.
Absolutely, yeah, and we've seen it in so many different ways as well.
Up in Michigan, too. We can't forget about the community of Dundee. It's so hard as well. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
Also, we want to point out, and I mentioned it briefly, that graduation for the 110 seniors here at Lake High School are going to take place, as commencement ceremonies will take place tomorrow on the campus of Owens Community College. The folks at Owens, we have heard from people at Lake have just opened up their hearts, opening their doors. Anything that the people here at Lake need, they are giving to them tomorrow night for those commencement ceremonies. Those 110 seniors will graduate and will get those diplomas. And we're happy to report that'll take place tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Did talk with some folks, Rudolph Libby in charge of cleaning up the mess here and eventually perhaps rebuilding. Not sure who will get that job, but it's a $20 to $30 million job. Won't be done for at least a couple of years. It is a mammoth mess to begin to clean up, Diane.
All right, Lee, thanks very much. And there are so many stories of survival, including in Genoa, where 30 homes were damaged. 13 ABC's Christine Long talked to several people about the terrifying moments when they didn't know if they'd survive. Christine.
Diane, they say the actual chaos at each home lasted under 30 seconds, but it felt like a lifetime. This is all that's left of the 2-story Miller family home on Reman Road. Piles of debris. Tim Miller and his wife were home when the tornado sirens went off.
I actually watched it come across the field, and about that time, when it hit my neighbor's house across the street, I went into the basement, and last thing I heard was all the roof going across my head. Just grabbed hold of each other, held each other down there, and when everything got calm and up, I looked up, and all I seen was the sky out through the ceiling.
That's devastating.
Tom Everhart lives next door to the Millers. He and his wife were not inside when the twister came through and destroyed their home. However, their son and a friend were.
This is the closet that we basically just took cover in, and this is the only part of the house that really didn't get touched. Well, we didn't know how long the closet would last. We were just hoping and praying that it would last, and you just basically heard, but you see it, you see things just flying everywhere, cars hitting things, and everything just chaos.
I thought I was gonna die. It was scary.
At least 4 homes were completely leveled in Genoa, including this home on Trowbridge. The owners actually found the big red door in a pile of rubble and propped it back up. Steve Vincent lives on Trowbridge. He did not have time to get to the crawl space when he heard the sirens.
We got in the bathtub. I put my wife in the bathtub. We put a cover over top of us. Before it was here, it was gone. And I walked out the back door and tried to get out the back door, and the garage was gone.
The Ottawa County Sheriff says several people in Genoa suffered injuries. 2 people are in critical condition.
Their house sort of exploded, if you would. One was in the crawl space. I believe that was the husband. The wife was carried all the way out to their pond. She was found in the pond.
As these neighbors clean up and rebuild, they say they're thankful to be alive.
Well, it sucks, but you just keep going. What do you do? Life goes forward. We're all okay. That's all that matters.
Reporting from Genoa, Christine Long, 13 ABC, Action News.
A twister also leveled several homes in Fulton County and left behind amazing stories of survival. In Delta, trees crushed one man's house. He stayed in his utility room and walked out with just a few bruises. Down the road, the tornado lifted 2 horses and carried them to a neighbor's yard into a swimming pool. Amazingly, neither horse was seriously hurt. Tornado victims can now get food, clothes, and other help at a command center. It's at the Shiloh Christian Church on County Road 5 in Delta. Meantime, the White House says tomorrow the Federal Emergency Management Agency plans to start assessing the widespread damage here in Northwest Ohio. Governor Ted Strickland had requested federal help after the tornado outbreak. Still ahead on 13 ABC Action News, a Dundee, Michigan man is counting his blessings. A tornado demolished his house and buried his sister under the rubble. And later, movement in the federal case against 2 Toledoans accused of trying to support a terrorist group overseas. We're back with more news in your full forecast in just 35 seconds.
You're watching Diane Larson, Lee Conklin, Stan Stachak, and Chad Sokol. This is 13 ABC Action News.